In most cases, you will never be storing strings individually. Rather, would be storing them in segments. This is possible by creating two-dimensional character arrays or an array of strings. These can be represented in two ways. First, a two-dimensional array of characters which would be allocated in mutable memory. Second, a one-dimensional array of character pointers would be allocated in immutable memory. As the title suggests, we create a two-dimensional array similar to the method used in numerical types. The general syntax of creation of arrays is displayed on the string. The first dimension represents the number of strings that can be stored inside the array, while the second dimension represents the number of characters each string is allowed to store. The syntax can be seen in execution here. The variable color is allowed to store 4 strings of maximum 7 characters, each including the null terminator. Obviously, if the character type occupies 1 byte, the array could store 28 characters. In the example, here we are storing names of 4 different colors. A reminder here, because we are using the double quotes, the null terminator is applied automatically. For further clarity, the matrix shows how the characters are stored in memory. The print statement in the program will print D. If a string larger than the allowed size were stored, the string would be terminated or truncated to the allowed size. The truncation would mean the null terminator at the end is not present. This can lead to unexpected behavior. Consider the following sample program. This example is a modified version of the previous one. Here, burgundy is stored instead of red. Since the burgundy would result in a line letter representation, it needs to truncate it to 7. This is the conceptual representation of the created 2D array. What do you think? What can be the output of the printf statement in the example? Would the program be able to print just burgundy? The answer is obviously no. The string is truncated, so it should print burgund, right? But that would not be the case either. Remember how two-dimensional arrays are stored in memory. They are stacked next to each other, which means since there is no null character at the end of the string, the next string will be printed as well. So the correct output for the above program will be this. Before we move to discuss immutable two-dimensional string, it is pertinent to discuss the motivation behind using these rather than a long one-dimensional string. It is the ease of use when it comes to mutability. Each individual character can be referenced and modified without searching for it in the entire string. The program on the screen takes one previous example and replaces the D with a null character in the string stored at the second location. This fixes the problem faced earlier where 2 consecutive strings were getting printed, and we see the expected output in the terminal. But this flexibility of modifying string once allocated comes at the cost of wasting memory. We can create immutable two-dimensional character arrays by creating an array of character pointers. The array can be defined by this statement. This statement will create 4 string literals in the read-only segment of the memory. The statement also creates an array of characters pointers named my_2d_array, holding the base addresses of the string literals. All the initializer strings are created in the data segment of the memory, which is read-only, while the array of character pointers is created in the stack memory. This implies individual strings cannot be modified, while the content of the array of character pointers can be modified. The pointers in the array can be replaced with new addresses, thereby changing the content represented in memory. In the program displayed on the screen, an array of character pointers is created and assigned string literals stored in the data segment. The base address stored at the second position points to the string literal with the value of red. In the line following the print statement, a string literal with the value green is created in the data segment, and the base address of this new string literal replaces the value stored at the second position of the pointer array. The next line prints the string literal pointed to by the pointer stored at the second position of the character array. The output is green. This clearly shows that we have been able to modify the content of the character array, which was created in the stack segment of the program memory. Since the newly created string is also in a read-only segment of the program memory, changes to it are also prohibited and would lead to a segmentation error and termination of the program. Now the question arises whether it would be possible for the programmer to replace partial content of the string stored in the array color. Think about it for a second. The array color is of a pointer type and would accept any pointer. We have seen how to create mutable strings earlier in this video. If we store addresses of a mutable string instead of immutable ones, we can have an array of character pointers with both mutable and immutable string. Consider the program presented on your screen. We create an array of characters and storing the string burgundy in it. We pass the address of this array to replace the value stored in the first location of colors. Since the string val is created on the stack, it is mutable. The value stored in the first location is changed and it prints out T as the first character instead of B. The question comes up again. Why do we need it if we can create mutable strings? We have one-dimensional strings which can be as long as we want them to be. We have two-dimensional strings which can be used to store and modify paragraphs. What is the need for immutable variation? The answer to this is very simple. Judicious use of immutable strings leads to memory savings. If we try to store blue, red, orange, yellow in the stack, it would take 28 bytes as we calculated earlier. But if the same content were to be stored in the form of immutable literals, the total storage used would be only 23 bytes. Also, we can store larger strings like burgundy without running into any problem as we faced earlier. A note here, since strings are merely just character arrays, the rules of one-dimensional and two-dimensional arrays can be applied directly. Please refer to the videos on passing array to functions.